Today in Cannabis News, setting cannabis legalization in the state of New York off to a good start is a priority, according to the new governor's administration. A third North Carolina State Senate panel approves a proposal to legalize medical cannabis, and a prominent federal drug director acknowledges that legalization advocates were right regarding adolescent cannabis consumption and extols the medical applications of psychedelics. It's Monday, August 30th, and this is your Trichomes Morning Buzz.
Broadcasting live from the Trichomes.com studios in Southern California. It's time for your Morning Buzz. We bring you late-breaking news that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the cannabis industry.
First up, according to their administration, New York's recently inaugurated governor is dedicated to quickly staffing regulator roles in order to start the state's cannabis legalization. Governor Kathy Hochul, who took over as governor last week after previous governor Andrew Cuomo resigned over sexual harassment allegations, was accepting of the state legislature's approval of the recreational legalization measure this year. Whereas Cuomo was chastised while deliberations with legislators over prospective candidates languished, the current governor is taking the reins and taking meetings to discuss how to advance the procedure ahead. Appointing members of the Cannabis Control Board and an executive director for the Office of Cannabis Management as a top priority will move the state nearer to establishing regulations and opening the consumer market. Adults 21 years or older can currently acquire a maximum of 3 ounces of cannabis or 24 grams of concentrates, and they can also consume cannabis in public wherever tobacco can be smoked, but no dispensaries have opened yet. The reality that authorities in adjacent New Jersey just announced regulations for its recreational cannabis system, which is being enacted after voters passed a legalization initiative last year, is contributing to the urgency to get the New York sector operating.
Next up, a proposal to legalize cannabis statewide in North Carolina has been passed by another Senate panel, bringing the proposal nearer to full chamber. Lawmakers of the Senate Health Care Committee approved the bill by voice vote. It came 2 days following the proposal clearing the Judiciary Committee, following a discussion in which lawmakers agreed to revisions. Last month, a previous iteration of the proposal passed the Judiciary and Finance Committees, but it was returned to the Judiciary Committee for changes last week. The proposal still needs to clear the Senate Rules and Operations Committee, which is headed by proposal sponsor Senator Bill Rabin, before moving on to the State House of Representatives and finally to the governor's office. Patients with a debilitating medical condition like cancer, epilepsy, HIV, AIDS, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, or PTSD would be permitted to use cannabis within the bill. The approved Judiciary Committee substitute modifies the roster slightly to include people with terminal illnesses who have 6 months left to live, and those who require hospice. Patients would be allowed to have a maximum of 1.5 ounces of cannabis in their possession, but no residential production would be allowed.
Last up, in a recent interview, the leader of a federal drug organization conceded that contrary to their predictions, legalizing cannabis has not led to a rise in adolescent usage, and even commented on the medicinal benefits of some psychedelics that have long been classified as hazardous under federal statute. During a podcast hosted by veteran legalization activist and Drug Policy Alliance founder Ethan Nadelman that was recently released, National Institute on Drug Abuse Director Nora Volkow addressed a large array of drug law matters, such as the necessity to move from a penal strategy to drugs to one that tackles addiction as a matter of public health. As states proceeded to legalize cannabis, Volkow claimed that they were expecting the use of marijuana among adolescents would go up, but that overall it hasn't. Reformation proponents, including Nadelman, they claimed, were right about the legislative update's effects on adolescents. They also admitted that revisions in cannabis legislation have a wide variety of effects, claiming that some states that have legalized actually have better outcomes, whereas the adverse effects of marijuana use are much worse in some states.
That was today's Buzz. Thanks for listening. For more cannabis news and insights from industry professionals and a place to discuss these stories and others, visit trichomes.com.
And be sure to catch up with all of our other cannabis industry-related podcasts like Hash It Out, Tech in Cannabis or the International Cannabis Conversation, wherever you get your podcasts.
And I'm Devin Liao. Have a great day.